Hey everyone, welcome to the Fat Games Podcast, episode 4. Gary and I are your hosts. Say hi, Gary.
Hello, everybody.
And on this episode, we actually have a very special guest. He's a friend of mine. I've known him for several years, although this is the first time we're actually talking face to face. His name is David. Say hi, David. David's a pretty, I would say, prolific game developer. In the time I've known him, he has made a number of games, starting with Pull My Tongue and, correct me if I'm wrong, is it Fluffy Jump?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fluffy Jump, Glitch Dash, Super Glitch Dash, Hexaflip, and you're currently working on this kind of Western style shoot 'em up kind of thing that you're planning on releasing on the Switch, right?
Yeah. Sounds about right.
So I think I got a pretty comprehensive view of your history there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about yourself, David. How'd you get into game development?
Yeah, well, so I've always liked games. I played a lot of games when I was smaller, and I played a lot of games on the classic Amiga. All the I can't even remember the names. Didn't even have the real names on the floppy disk. It just said shooter game or whatever because I was too small to actually know the name. So I just had like copies of friends' games, and we just wrote whatever the game was. So so I was always like games. Now I went to a school in southern Sweden for 2 years and studied to be a game artist. And after that, I kind of got into it, and we started a company with two other friends from the school, and ran that for I think about 3 years before we were all kind of exhausted, and we sold the thing. And I moved up here where I'm from, so I moved back up north to Umeå, and started working on another company with the Turborilla. I got their T-shirt today from the new game. I'm not working there anymore. Just great guys.
Sweet. Oh, so you actually work on a motocross game.
Yeah. When I started there, they were working on the Mad Skills Motocross 2, and I worked on that for a while, made updates, and then we made a game called Mad Skills BMX 2, and then we started working on Mad Skills Motocross 3 just before I quit and left. Started working on my own stuff for full time.
So what was that like, taking the plunge into doing your own stuff? Because that's kind of scary. I mean, without income,
Yeah,
I mean,
it was really scary. I mean, I knew I had launched some games while I was working at Turborilla, so I had launched some games and I had some money saved up, but it was still taking the punch and just seeing if you could make it full time. I mean, yeah, it was scary as hell, I would say, but just as I took that plunge and I got the Hexaflip game into Apple Arcade as one of the launch games. So that was kind of perfect timing, and really helped like kick things off and really get going.
well, you had a lot of success though with Pull My Tongue, right? You worked with Noodle Cake on that one, right?
Yeah, yeah. I worked with Noodle Cake. It's like a Canadian publisher.
Yeah. So Noodle
Really,
Cake,
really nice guys.
yeah, Noodle Cake is actually in Saskatoon, Gary.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember Noodle Cake. Yeah, we
yeah.
were trying to.
We pitched Burgle's Bounty to
Yeah.
Noodle Cake. We got 2 rejections from them actually.
Oh, that's harsh.
I think it might be because we're from Regina.
So, yeah, maybe I told them in an email that we were from Regina originally, so maybe that's why they rejected us.
Yeah,
Some local hostility there.
yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they were bought out
Yeah.
by a Chinese company now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
uh,
about right. Yeah,
yeah. I spoke to one of the guys who I worked with Pull My Tongue for perhaps I think it was just after they were purchased by the Chinese company. And yeah, he still asked if I had some new games and such. I think they're still working on as before. They were really fun guys, really nice to work with. I actually sent them when Pull My Tongue launched. I sent them a can of the fermented herring, you know, the YouTube stuff. Have you seen the Swedish rotten fish or whatever? It's you see guys eating it on YouTube and puking like crazy.
Oh yeah,
These
no,
come in jars?
Yeah,
I've
they
heard
come
about it.
in. Yeah, yes, they come in jars. It's terrible. Once you crack that thing, it's like poison. It's
Wow.
like
So is there a
smell
video of
just
you eating those
spread.
things?
Yeah, it's just, the smell from those things just spread and take over the whole room. So I sent the guys one of those cans and some like Swedish local candy when we launched
Ugh.
From My Time. And then made a video and posting it to the YouTube.
Maybe that's why they didn't pick you up for the next game, because
Yeah,
you
I think so.
poisoned them with bad Swedish fish.
Most likely. Their CEO who was like they were opening it on the patio and the CEO was like standing up doing the throw up sounds.
Yo, how bad could it be? It's just fish, right?
Yeah, I can send you a can. You can see
There you
how
go.
bad it can be.
We're gonna get disgusting fish now, Gary.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. No, it's I don't
Won't
need
be able to
it.
get
It's just
won't be able to get
like
the smell out of your place.
There's that like disgusting Thai fruit kind of thing as well. It apparently doesn't taste bad, but it
Yeah.
smells like death.
I had
You're not talking about durian, are you?
I
Yeah,
think that's it.
durian,
Yeah,
yeah.
durian. Yeah.
I had
Yeah,
I
it smells
tasted
like it smells like fart, but it's actually
yeah.
it's really
But
it's a tasty fruit. It's fatty
yeah,
though.
yeah, it was actually surprisingly good, but it smelled terrible. Smelled like fart. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, I
you
couldn't
can
get
get that
past the
stuff
smell
frozen.
though.
You can get that stuff frozen, and it'll stink up your whole fridge.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Perfect.
So you've done a lot of work with your wife on your game, so at least for with Fluffy Jump. I don't know if she's done any work on any of the other games. Has she?
Yeah. So we got started with Fluffy Jump. She made the character art and like background art, and she's really good at drawing. And she got into Photoshop because she mostly draw like pen and paper and stuff. But she back then she got into Photoshop and really got going on the character art and the backgrounds and everything. So she did a lot of work on that.
So how has the husband-wife thing worked out? Are you still doing stuff together, or was it just the one game?
No, we're still doing stuff together. We made that game, we launched it, and it was, I mean, it wasn't super successful. So she was not, got a little sick of it and just took us some time off.
Oh yeah.
And then I think like about a year ago, she took a 6-month course and into 3D art and learned Autodesk Maya. So now she's actually doing all the environment art for the new game.
Oh sweet.
Yeah, so she's also working full time on the new game.
Does the new game have an official name yet, or
Yeah, nah.
no?
Kinda. So the official game name for now is Neon and Dust.
Neon and sorry,
Neon and Dust.
Neon and Dust. Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, so that's what we're going with for now at this.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that one. Hexaflip was great. Pull My Tongue, as you know, was a personal favorite. I've been pressuring you to do Pull My Tongue too, but
Yeah.
you still won't do it.
No.
I am, yeah, but you sent me a demo of that or like a build of it a while ago, and I really enjoyed it. It ran like shit on my Mac, but that's fine. I still had fun. It coming out on the Switch is definitely going to be awesome. And I just bought Super Glitch Dash as well. Way easier when it's not on like a touch screen. Like I don't get nearly as mad at that game when I've got a gamepad to use. Still pretty hard though, and pretty fun, and the music is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I mean, it was really fun bringing that to Switch. As the first game, I really just wanted to see how it was working with the Switch and getting stuff out and getting things released. Yeah. So, but yes, that game is a lot easier with a controller than like touch swiping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've done a lot of the like have you done all the music for your games or just for Glitch Dash and Super Glitch Dash?
No, just for Glitch Dash and Super Glitch Dash. So basically, because I was thinking of not doing that. I was thinking of finding some good musician to do like the kind of like how they did in Hotline Miami. Like find some guys who are like indie and pay them a little to like license their music and use them on levels.
Yeah.
But I realized quite soon that quite early on that the music is kind of the level design. So I can't just put in a song and hope it turns out well. So the music needs to match the level. So I just ended up like, okay, I can't outsource this. I gotta figure out myself. So yeah, then I bought Fruit Loops and just tried stuff until it
So
worked.
so did you have any like prior experience doing game music?
No, not really. No, and I mean, it's not like me sitting and mixing and doing things. I have bought a huge music library with like drums and kicks and whatever, and like small loops with like tunes or whatever the catch thing, and I just played puzzle until I thought,
Wow.
okay, this sounds good. So
That's pretty incredible. I don't know if I could have done that. That yeah, that must have taken a lot of patience.
yeah, it did. A lot of those stuff like, oh, this sounds like crap.
No, but the music was great. I mean, yeah, I definitely I think I could say that playing I maybe have played those two games more for the music than I mean the games themselves were good, but the music I think was one of the strongest parts of them.
Yeah. I mean, the games it's a simple mechanic like up, down, left, right, and but yeah, the whole idea with the game was getting the timing between music and level. Like you see stuff come down and you hear the beats and so.
Yeah.
So
So
for
sorry, go
for
ahead.
the Super Glitch Dash, I actually made it like the other way around. I designed the level, recorded it, and then I made the music for it, so I could match like stuff coming down
Oh,
and beating. Yeah,
that's a good idea.
yeah.
So if that was your first foray into music, is it safe to say that you don't play any musical instruments or anything?
I played like guitar when I was little, and I don't remember much. I have a guitar, but I can't really play it anymore. I could before, but I actually after just when I was doing Super Glitch Dash, I bought a drum set, like an electronic drum set.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and got into that. When I was smaller, I wanted to play drums, but my parents thought that was too loud, so I got a guitar. So, so now I bought a drum set, so I can. I'm not good at it. It's just fun.
Do you live in a house?
Yeah, I live in a house. My
Yeah,
wife,
that's
even
perfect.
though
It's like
it's yeah.
I have a friend that has even like a electronic set, and yeah, they get noise complaints all the time. He lives in a used to live in a condo building,
Yeah.
and I swear he'd have to fork up $400 every few months as
Yeah, so
punishment.
that's nice. So my wife also gives out the complaints on the sound, even though it's electric. Sure. Yeah. But it's fun.
That's awesome. Um, so you work on your games like pretty much every day, I assume, right?
Yeah.
So what's your what keeps you motivated? What is your workflow like? How do you like stay on top of all this stuff, especially when you're doing like extra builds for Hexaflip because you're contractually obligated to or whatever?
Oh, yeah. It's always that. And you know this. I hate updates. I mean, I don't know how much I've complained about me working on updates and hating it. But I mean, yeah. So I have like a simple little Trello board for all the games for the games I'm working on, and I just put up everything I can think about. Like, okay, I should change this, or this is a huge feature. I should do this, and I just have a board with all the stuff I need to do, and if I'm not feeling like, oh, I really want to work on it today, I pick something that is more fun, like that's perhaps not really necessary, but it's more fun, like adding dropping shells when you reload the gun in the top-down shooter. It's not, it doesn't need to be there, but it's a lot more fun than making a stupid core feature thing that is huge and will take days. So yeah, and the updates thing and the contract obligations, that's just something you gotta power through, I guess. I mean, when I had a lot of those, I think I took 2 days with contractual stuff. Okay, I need to do this, and then I worked 3 days on the new game, just to not kill myself by the boring of all the stuff. Yeah.
Gotcha. So is it hard to stay motivated sometimes, or is it, are you treat it like kind of like a job, or?
No, I mean, it's I still work for myself on my own stuff, so that's always nice. And I can, if I actually don't feel like it for a day, I could just not work that day and do something else. But I mean, yeah, sometimes I'll stay motivated, especially when you know when the prototype is done and when the like all the fun features are getting in, and now it's just okay, you gotta finish the game, you gotta wrap it up, and you gotta let's get it done. Then it can be quite hard to stay motivated.
I definitely can relate. Although Gary and I seem to have picked a game that's going to take several years yet. How
Yeah.
many times have I gone on Facebook and messaged you like basically, "Oh my God, what am I doing?"
And
Yeah,
then the Trello board says it's going to take 20 years.
No,
yeah,
the Trello board says 2027 right now, but I think
Oh,
we'll get
really?
that down. So that's not terrible for the
no,
scope of the game we're creating.
that's
Um,
that's bad.
2027? Yeah, that's coming up right
yeah,
away.
but we'll
Yeah.
we'll get it done sooner, or that's what I'll tell myself at least.
Yeah.
So, what do you love about this? I mean, we all love doing this, but what do you love about indie games?
I really love the prototyping stage, like just trying stuff, seeing how it works, and just I mean the new game is basically the game I wanted to play. So again, I want to make a game that I want to play. I haven't really done that before with the other games. I mean, they're fun. I
Even pull
love
my tongue?
even pull my time. Yeah,
Really? That makes me feel sad.
yeah. No, I mean, I like the game. I love all the games. I mean, in some way, but it's not the games that I would sit down and play because it's really not my style of game. So this new game is like the game I want to play. So love the exploration of finding new features and trying new stuff and seeing how it works. Yeah,
Nice.
figuring stuff out.
Yeah,
So
I you actually kind of remind me in that regard of someone that, well, an old childhood friend of Gary and I's, who was motivated by the technical side of things and want to figure something out. However, once he figured it out, his motivation to sort of finish it would kind of wane, and so once the challenge was no longer there, he didn't want to do it anymore. But you sort of
yeah.
see it through, and
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I power through, even though it's not always the most
not
fun
always the
features. I mean, no, I mean, when you say tell people, oh yeah, I make games for a living, so that's got to be fun. Yeah, most of the time, or I mean, sometimes it's not always fun. You can't say it's always fun.
So, in terms of like a challenging aspect to this, what has been the most challenging part of creating games? Whether it's like an individual project or
Yeah, I mean, I think it's when I was working on like the free to play stuff and trying to figure that whole thing out. That was really challenging, like trying to figure out what other people thought would be fun and trying to find out like how can I make this simple enough so everyone can understand. Uh, so I always think that is really challenging. I mean, I think the most challenging thing on recently is actually Hexaflip when I got the deal to go to like Apple Arcade as launch game because the time frame was like 3 months or something like that. So I had a game. I was gonna ship it like 3 weeks later, and then I got the deal to get into Apple Arcade. And I was like, okay, and now we gotta redo a lot of stuff, and I gotta get it running on Mac OS. Get it running on Apple TV with that controller and everything. And like there was like 16 different localization languages, there were like Arabic and stuff. It was like, oof. So yeah.
So who did your localization? Was that Google Translate or did you find some third-party company?
No, I had a third-party company. I've been working with them before. And they're called Keywords, I think. Really, really good guys, and they're just really fast. So I can just send him my sheets, and he knows how I structure my sheets. So he's like loads them into his program and just sends it out, and I get the back like 2 or 3 days later, translate and check that.
Oh, nice. Now, would they be able to do something like an RPG with massive amounts of dialogue?
Yeah, no, that would be my system is basically one large Excel sheet with like everything just mashed together. So.
Yeah, I actually built a localization engine for Kids of Karendow. You can localize text and graphics if you need to. But yeah, just because it's there doesn't mean it's going to be used. So
Yeah.
one day we'll see.
Yeah, Arabic was a real challenge, I can say, because they have it's the other way around. So you read from right to left.
Right. Yeah, yeah. So for like Japanese, that would be hard.
Yeah. So I mean, and then they had where it's odd font where it's like everything, all the characters are put together, and if you type one word, it can just change to another depending on the whole structure of the sentence and stuff. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. So
But your games aren't text heavy though. There's very little text.
No, they aren't text heavy. So that was the save for that game. It's not a lot of text, but I mean, I've spoken to other developers who worked on the Apple Arcade stuff, and they were like, okay, so our Arabic localizations took 4 weeks. So it's like, woo.
4 weeks isn't even that long.
Yeah, but I mean, for a smaller game and just getting one language in for 16 of them.
Thanks for listening. Please consider liking and subscribing. If you're a fan of our content and would like to support the podcast and our game development, please consider joining our Patreon. Finally, we will end this podcast with music from David's game, Super Glitch Dash. Enjoy!